Taurus, you can only be kind for so long. And I admire your dedication to civility, to wanting to do things correctly and treat people with respect and decency, to the extent of you maybe even giving somebody the benefit of the doubt. But ultimately, there will come a point where if somebody is dishing shit to you, you got to call them out on that. Even though it may be messy. Can't be afraid of the mess. There is this necessary need for structure, control, and conformity in your life. And none of those are bad things. They're fundamental Taurus characteristics because, in other words, things that make you who you are, things that make you feel most comfortable. And remember, I think the moon is still in Taurus now too, so it will have an impact on you emotionally as well, wanting things to be steady and stable and not really, and steering away from anything that kind of threatens that. And that makes a lot of sense. You know, it really does. But, I mean, there's a but. Because the truth is that there's information or understanding or a realization that you have now that somebody done did you wrong. Somebody told you intentional misinformation, information that, and maybe this is information that you normally would not have taken or not have listened to, or you were cued into it through a really weird source. Because what's happening right now, there's a lot of craziness, okay. So Mars, Uranus, and the moon are right now, as I'm filming this video, they're all in Taurus. But it still is overlapping into your second house, which is ironically ruled by Taurus. So it's interesting. It's almost like what you do, what you care about, being what is you right now, and not wanting that anymore. And so I think if there's been any kind of deception or betrayal that's going on, it's going on in the fact that maybe you were thinking of doing something different. Maybe you were thinking of going somewhere and not really telling anybody that you were going to go somewhere, but because you hadn't laid the plans down yet. So follow this example. This is just a metaphor, but you're thinking of it and you want to, and maybe you were thinking of spreading your wings or, changing where you work or asking for whatever it was that you were contemplating because you feel the need for change. You feel the need to rebalance your life a little bit. If your life has become too much about work, there's too many heavy burdens, or that you just morally and ethically don't really agree with them right now, right? A sense of, somebody told somebody that you didn't agree with them, that you had these beliefs that were contrary to what you should be supporting. But for you, it's more about the truth as opposed to what you are supposed to be believing. And I don't think this is you causing a lot of ruckus. What's causing a lot of ruckus is somebody who knows something that either they shouldn't know or that you trusted them with, and they're not doing the right things with that information. That's what I'm saying to you. This could also be an energy of you yourself realizing that you haven't been sincere. You haven't really been true to somebody that you really love, that you really want to be with. Maybe you've been trying to keep something on the down low for right now. And there's confrontation building. So whatever has been sort of subverted, and you're trying just for the sake of keeping everything together right now, this is how I know. Because the key card to all of this, only one Lenormand card would come out for you for so long, and I shuffled, was desire. What it is that we desire, our temptations. Now, normally, and a lot of times, this is something that we keep to ourselves. But clearly, it became public somehow, or somebody got wind of it. Some sort of desire, realizing it could even be in your life that there was some sort of hanky-panky or weird stuff going on and somebody had lied to you. So you take these energies as they apply to your life. But ultimately, Taurus, it's this kind of subvert whatever was trying to be hidden, that there's a confrontation that's coming out. You know, and I see that there's love here. I see that there's passion. It could very well be passion for somebody that you should fall in love with, or you're not supposed to fall in love with. It could play out to be that as well. I'll confirm that in your relationship reading. That's over in the extended. That link is below. But I think ultimately the mentality right now is, okay, what is my truth? And what is the challenges that truth causes me? And instead of trying to avoid those challenges, to confront those challenges head on. I know this because look, you need to take action. A fiery climax approaches. Either you're going to bust somebody's head, punch him in the face, you're just going to shout at him. This confrontation is going to happen no matter how hard you try. And if you're fighting with yourself, because remember, Aries is also the house of self. And like I said, all of these planets right now, Mars, Uranus, and the moon right now, are all in Taurus. But they're not in the first house for you. They're still falling in the second, which is strange and weird, but I can explain it to you some other time. But the bottom line is this. If you've been protective, or you've been defensive, or you've been trying to keep status quo so that you keep the look up and you keep making the money that you're making, or you made choices and you decided to be with somebody who was financially right for you as opposed to somebody that you loved, you are changing. The reality or the truth of your heart is coming out. And that is really what's speaking now, your heart, and where your soul is really aligned. It could be at great loss to other things, but then they're cumbersome things. They're things that basically are keeping you back from real happiness. And real happiness isn't money. Real happiness is happiness. It's joy. It's sincerity. And I do feel that there is some sort of kind of somebody had to coax out of you what it is that you really cared about. What it is that really mattered to you. And you wanted to keep this to yourself for as long as you could. You're going to be actually kind of forced out of this closet right now. You're going to be forced out of, I don't think that you're ready for it. No, I know that you're ready for it. But I just don't know what to say to you to convince you that you're ready for it. Because right now it seems like you still think, I'm not ready for it. I don't want to address this. I don't want to get into it. I want to prevent it as much as possible. I'm not denying it. I'm not in denial at all. But it's like getting enough time to be able to grapple it and get a handle on it and get to a point where you feel like, okay, I can make this transition smoothly. Right now, there's this understanding, or you're coming from thinking, I can't make this transition smoothly, but you will change. And this shoe that drops is going to basically be that cue that says, yes, in fact, I am ready to change. I will live up to this. I will not let this become something that is out of my hand. It's almost like sometimes you don't know how much you can handle until you're forced to handle it. Well, this is going to force your hand. Now, what is this? It's some sort of communication that's come in, some sort of advice you get or tip that you get. Somebody knows something. Somebody's doing something behind your back. You got to react first so that they don't react. They don't get there first. You gotta confront this before it topples you. Now, what is this? It has a lot to do with what gives you joy and or a lover, which could also give you joy. Somebody that you really want to be with. And maybe you made a choice in the past to not be with somebody, because they weren't the right ethnicity, they weren't the right culture, or you just couldn't feel you couldn't get behind something that was that far off for you, whatever. But bottom line is there's maybe you've been keeping something secret. You've been wanting to hide who you're really in love with, or who you're dating, or just these passions that you feel overall. You've been kind of pulling them down. Now, it's not necessarily something that's going to blow up your life, though there's a lot of karma here, especially hitting in the 9th house, which is about foreigners, foreign travel, what your general philosophy of life is. This being revealed could really change who you end up interacting with. Just when you thought you'd gotten to a point of stillness and serenity, there's almost something now that you can't refuse to say, you can't not talk about anymore. Your world got bigger. You realize something that you haven't realized before. This is purple for a reason. It's about, the crown chakra, intellect, knowledge, understanding, wisdom coming in. Being more connected to spirit and having that have more. I could almost hear you shouting, get to the point, get to the point. I'll get to the point. All of this is the point. At the same time, if you want specifics and you want just blatant details, that's in the extended. That's in the tarot card reading below. So you can go there now. You can go there whenever you want. I invite you over there. But ultimately, this has everything to do with it. It's really, if there's any kind of confusing information, it's because there is still confusion. There is no solid ground for you to be certain of everything except what is inside your heart and what it is you truly feel. And even if that loses you something, respect of your parents, or loses your job, maybe your parents don't want you to date this person, or they didn't know that you were dating this person, or you just lost your virginity, so you people may look at you differently. Whatever it is, the bottom line is, if it made you happy and it's aligned with your soul, there's no reason to hide it anymore. Even if that means other people's impression of you will fall away, they'll disrespect you, and they'll question you. Those aren't the people that are supposed to be in your life. This is the time to let things fall away and let things change. You're not afraid to clean up your mess. You want this burden to be over and done. You want this change to happen. Some part of you doesn't want to hold back anymore, right? You want to admit, yes, I really love you. I really do want to be with you despite what everybody else thinks about us being together. And there could be some sort of a wake, right? The mess, as in that person's broken heart. They thought you didn't love them, or they felt rejected, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, I've got to fix this. This is the time when you just stand up and say, no, I got to take responsibility for what my hiding things, or not talking about things, or not acknowledging things for what it did. You're getting closer to your own nature, to who you are. You're feeling solidity in your person, in yourself. I know you see the face here. You're just, you're getting more, like you're filling out your own skin and feeling comfortable in what that means, because not everybody knew you before you completely filled out your skin, no matter how old you are. There are definitely people in your life that should not have been in your life, that will not approve. Masquerade is that you can tell that there are false people around. You can feel them in your life. Or because these two came out together, it could very well be just about keeping a love affair hidden. Because it's not necessarily a false love. It's somebody being false about love. And there's confrontation, because Aries energy is confrontation. desire and passion. What do you have to confront, especially about your relationship, your love, your passion, your romance, or your ideas, your ideals in this world? Because keeping your ideals to yourself so that you can satiate or gratify somebody else is not unconditional love. It's not real love at all. It's false. It's like finding out that something that you put a lot of energy into is built on false premise. Maybe you didn't even realize that you didn't know this person. You didn't even really know them. And then all of a sudden their beliefs come out. A little birdie tells you. You got to get this information from a weird source. It's going to be unexpected. Nature. Usually this card blatantly means that you're going to be finding wisdom in nature. That you'll get the call, you'll get answers through being out in nature, being one with nature, listening and learning from nature. But I feel like this is more just a weird conduit for this information is coming in. I want you to love who you're supposed to love. I want you to feel happy and strong in the decision that you made to be with the person that you want to be with. This is you aligning with God. And it even saying that your relationship is aligned with God. Letting go of anything else that doesn't really matter. And just having faith in what your heart is telling you. Have faith in what your heart is telling you. Have fun. Allow yourself to not need to control or plan out so integrally. Allow yourself to trust in everything that's happening, and that everything is happening for a reason. Because there's such like this, I just saw like a dam busting and a deluge of water, so emotions spilling out. And at first it's really sloppy, right? And after it's done, there's a ton of mess to be cleaned up. Well, that's what you're facing right now. Is this sort of emotional purge of your truth, and there will be a mess, and you can expect it. But it's freedom. And you need to do it. You need to trust it. You don't be afraid to clean up a mess, because this is a mess that needs to happen. And you holding on and holding it together to avoid that mess is keeping yourself in a false situation. Let's get to your animal totems. It's Taurus. There's always an extended reading. That link is down below. You can also subscribe directly over to that platform as well. I welcome you to, and then you'll get notifications of the extended readings about a day before this link shows up on YouTube. You can also subscribe right there over there, and you'll see that I upload every week a weekly astrological forecast over there, totally for free. And you can enjoy that over there. You'll be notified as soon as that comes up. Now, if you have not yet subscribed here, a great way to help the channel grow is to subscribe, like this video, and share it on your social media platforms so that people get introduced to the channel. And then ring that bell so that you get notified. I upload between 12 and 14 new videos every single week. So there's exceptional content coming every single week. Your sun, your moon, your rising sign, other people's signs that you're interested in. If you're interested in learning about astrology, all of those things are here. Taurus specific information comes out every Thursday. So you can plan on that. Always. And then of course there's Instagram, where I invite you over because I do live readings on Instagram all the time, Monday through Friday. So join me, born_without_boundaries. Let's get into your animal totem cards. Underlying all of this is the need to control and create, is the attempt to create things in the vision that you had, in the vision of your dreams, to make your dreams come true. So your goal was, underlying it all, your goal was to create, or somebody's goal was to create. But this is also very manipulative energy. So this is also becoming aware of energy that was intended to manipulate a situation so that it went a certain person's way. FYI. That's my humidifier. Lacking the truth, keeping the truth, trying to not tell the truth, or delusional, being delusional, choosing to believe what you know is absolutely not true, or somebody choosing to believe what they know is not true. This is a lie. I'm just going to say it for what it is. This is a lie. And there's an there's intent here with this lie. But the message is going to come out. Something has been hidden. This is scorpionic energy. So this also has to do with deep desires, deep passions. Maybe things that you are interested in sexual proclivities, or somebody's interest, that all of a sudden it's coming out. It's being revealed and discovered. And even though you're pushed to this point, maybe you don't want to hear this news, or you don't want to say this news, there is such a sense of, on the other side of my fear, as crazy as this makes everything, I'm going to be free. Give with gratitude and grace. I don't understand this right now. This is turkey mentality, turkey of fitting in. Could also be turkeys just fitting in, the gangle of people that you needed to fit in with. You know, so it could be all of a sudden they're finding out something about you that would disqualify you from being a part of this circumstance. I saw in my head, and this is all just examples, sorority or fraternity. It's like you have to be a certain type of person and do a certain type of thing and adhere to their rules. And then all of a sudden they find out something about you where you just don't fit in. But guess what? Fuck it. Fuck them. You don't want to fit in where you have to be something where you're not. And that's the mentality. Whether that had been, it doesn't have to be a fraternity. You could be 50 years old. I don't want to get the comments of, I'm 50, I'm not in a fraternity. It's a fucking metaphor, right? So it could be your family. It could be at work, your job. It's learning that a group that you wanted to be a part of so badly, all of a sudden rejects you, and it's the best thing that could have ever happened to you. Love is all around. So this is either people singing your praises or somebody loving you, somebody saying loving things to you. This is love superseding everything, and it's your time to shine. So being in the spotlight, you wanted to be in the spotlight. You wanted to be hailed. You wanted to be glorious. You wanted everything to work out very, like, just perfectly, but it didn't. What was it based on? Was it based on truth, or was it based on a lie? There was a lie here. Yeah. Trust in divine detours. Somebody's going to surprise you. Coyote is a trickster. He could be a liar. And it's going to happen at the worst time, where the humiliation is the biggest for you. And believe me, that is intentional. Something has been building for all this time. Little mice scattering around. Oh, you thought, oh, this is nothing. This is nothing. This is nothing. This could also have something to do with your health. All of a sudden, a health issue that you've been ignoring could all of a sudden creep up at the time, just when you think you're getting everything you want. What was everything that you want based on? Was it based on your truth and your heart, or was it based on strategy and ego and ambition? It's a good thing to question, because there was definitely a subversion of the truth here. Let's go to the angel messages. Now, if this could be somebody that you're dealing with. You know, you could be dealing with somebody, whatever it is, this is the energy. And I will get into specifics over in tarot. These are your angel messages, and they always have that beautiful supportive voice that I'm glad you guys stuck around for. Let's see, Taurus. Clarity. Yup. Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe in the blue of the sky. Feel a gentle breeze flow through you. There is peace. There is clarity. A magical healing has just taken place. A gift from your guardian angel. all of a sudden, a fiery climax approaches. The truth is coming out. Harmony. Disharmony occurs when we try to resist life's natural flow. Everything has its cycle. Every stage of life has its own unique meaning and purpose. Every day can be harmonious if we want it to be. What I say before, that go with the flow, that trust this, even if it sounds dissonant right now, trust it. Heart song kept coming out in my reading. What is your heart saying? Stop and listen. Your truth lies within the empty spaces between your thoughts. Your truth shines through from within your soul. Your truth is that which is eternal and unchanging. Your truth is love. So there's definitely something coming out. If you've been trying to hide who you're with or they've been denying you, that love is going to be officiated. Archangel Gabriel, you will soon receive some positive news. The channels for clear and honest communication are now open. Keep an open heart and speak your truth lovingly without fear. Let's go get some clarity. I'm going to go through the major challenges, the major obstacles, who's causing them, and how to clear them away, and what your future holds. All of that is in tarot. I will see you guys. The link is below.